welcome to the midweek edition of The Conversation here on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on the show. I am Ajibola Ojeshola.
Good morning and welcome to The Conversation. I am Joy Olu.
Joy, where is our cake?
Yeah, so I baked yesterday, but I did not bring the cake.
So where is the cake?
I just
She did not bring
chocolate. I made chocolate cake with ganache on it.
Seeing is believing. You are a reporter. Seeing is believing.
I did a video. I'll show you the video.
I don't want to see the video.
Is this audio cake or virtual cake?
I want to see the cake. You promised us on Monday that you were going to bake yesterday. So
Yeah, because my son asked me to bake.
And that same
I didn't
Monday,
promise to
you
bring the
discussed
cake. Oh.
perception and image.
But I did something on Monday.
You did pop
that's
puff.
not by day
You
cake.
did pop puff.
It's not by day cake. That was snack. That wasn't by day cake.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome back to the show, Ajibola. Anything to? Okay, no, don't worry. Don't worry. It is on our hashtag,
Okay.
So we will come back to that. I know that
And
you
France will be playing Morocco.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know
I'm
that
wishing
you have-
Morocco well, and I hope that
Morocco would definitely want to pay back. Remember at the last World Cup, it was France who actually sent Morocco home.
Parking, yeah.
So I'm sure that this time round they would want to definitely do themselves proud. But like I always say, football is a very interesting game
It is.
until the whistle goes off. Never say never. And more or less, I don't know. You know, yesterday during that match, I was telling my husband that, I hope Argentines won't come back. And he said, when it is not Senegal. And at the end of the day, it was like, what just happened in a space of 13 minutes? We'll come back to discuss that on today's hashtag. Let's go to the news points for today.
Okay, ICPC probe. Senate rejects blame. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday directed the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission to conduct a thorough investigation into the activities of the fictitious Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council and all related matters, demanding a comprehensive report within 30 days. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, revealed the fresh directive in a statement is signed on Tuesday titled President Tinubu Orders ICPC to Investigate Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council. Ononuga said the directive follows the discovery of the fictitious council, which the presidency said was never established by the federal government and has no basis in law, presidential instrument, executive approval, or other lawful act of government. President Tinubu directed the ICPC to investigate the forged appointment letters and official government documents allegedly used by one Adeniyi Adeyemi Matthew, who presented himself as DG of the so-called council and falsely claimed to be a presidential appointee. It stated the investigation is also to cover his use of a false claim of presidential appointment to seek or obtain official recognition and diplomatic support, including visa facilitation, as well as the opening of multiple bank accounts in the names of purported government agencies using allegedly forged documents. Tinubu also ordered the ICPC to examine the wider circumstances that may have enabled a fictitious body and a false claim of presidential appointment to acquire an appearance of official legitimacy, the statement read. It added the investigation is to examine the provenance and the use of false official documents, the process through which official recognition or diplomatic support may have been sought or obtained, the opening and operation of any related bank accounts, the source and the movement of any funds involved, and the role of any public officer, private individual, financial institutions, intermediary, or other person or entity that may have facilitated or enabled the alleged scam. The presidency further directed the ICPC to identify weaknesses in government and institutional procedures that were exploited and to recommend immediate measures to prevent a reoccurrence. Lastly, all ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government were directed to provide the ICPC with all relevant information, records, and assistance required for the expeditious completion of the investigation. Yes, this particular issue has been trending since Monday, and we discussed it Monday and even yesterday on the program that the presidency should have said something about this alleged scam involving the chief of staff and Prince Matthew Adeniyi, whose father was arrested in Ogbomoso day before yesterday. And just yesterday, Mr. President actually listened to what people have been clamoring for by ordering the ICPC to do the needful and investigate this particular matter within the next 30 days. So our fingers are crossed, and we are hoping that those that played the game of scam in this particular issue will be unraveled at the end of the day for Nigerians to know who the saints are and who the perpetrators were.
Well, 30 days. Yeah. For me,
That's a month.
Yes, that's a month. It will be the fact that there's a timeline to this, and I guess that shows some seriousness. But again, the ICPC, yes, we do know that the ICPC also has a role to play here. Let's see whether or not the ICPC will be able to do due diligence in this particular matter. I saw a video online, I think it was early this morning, where Mr. Adeniyi Matthew, who currently, right now the police do not know where he is, it was in a car and he spoke to VDM.
Very dark man, yeah. I saw it
And the
this morning.
question is, at what point did we get to this level where it is safer to speak to a VDM than to speak to the police? And according to him, is gathering his evidences and he would go to the police. You know, I said it yesterday, that as much as you claim that you're innocent, as much as you claim that, you know, you did not realize that this office was fictitious or, I mean, it was a scam, the question to ask is, did you also do your due diligence when you were approached to lead this office? Because if you get an appointment, won't you check?
According to what he told VDM now, because I listened to the video this morning, he said he was even in prison last year. And so when the budget was, when they were defending the budget, that he was not there.
But the budget was approved.
And it was
And you are
approved.
the head of it, an agency.
Yeah, but
So-
was the agency represented during the budget presentation?
How?
And how? He said
And
he
if
was
truly
in
he was
prison.
arrested, how come those who were meant to know did not know that he was not arrested, and even the Senate Committee on Budget did not even see him to come and
Physically, to defend the budget.
and yet the budget was approved.
And so he said his friend, which is the only witness,
The dead man.
late, the dead man.
That died in a hotel fire.
Thank God it was not monkey or snakes that swallowed the money.
So what's the difference?
What's the difference?
Okay.
It
Nigeria.
is well.
Let's move on and take the second story this morning. But again, 30 days is not too far. Before we know what is happening, 30 days will be here, and perhaps we'll hear more on this particular issue. This next story says, State Police. All of you clamoring for Bajamia to step aside. Only for him to lead another committee.
Was that a banger from the president?
I don't know. Tinubu names Gbajabiamila AGF to Implementation Committee. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Tuesday inaugurated the Presidential Working Group on the National Policing Bill to prepare the legal framework for the implementation of state police across the country. President Tinubu, represented by the Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, inaugurated the panel at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The inauguration followed the National Assembly's passage of the Constitution Alteration State Bill 2026, in which the President proposes a dual policing structure comprising the Federal Police Service and the 36 state police services. The President said that while the constitutional amendment creates the framework for state police, the National Policing Bill would provide the legal structure for its implementation. He said the proposed legislation would address issues necessary for a smooth operationalization of the state police system. Gbajabiamila will serve as the committee's chairman. Members include the Attorney General of the Federation, the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, the NBA, Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, the National Security Advisor, the Inspector General of Police, and the Chairman of the NGF Committee on State Police. Well, that's the thrust of the story, and that is it. You have it there. The Chief of Staff will, let me say, the embattled Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Femi Gbajabiamila, will lead that committee as inaugurated by the federal government, and it is to work on the implementation of the state police service or the state police bill. So as it stands, the 7-man committee have their job cut out for them, and they are to work on ensuring that the state police bill is structured properly and all T's dotted, all T's crossed, all I's dotted for the smooth sail of the state police bill.
Yeah, it's a good one, and we are beginning to show some level of seriousness, speed, showing our sincerity towards the establishment of state police services, and of course, because of the volume of insecurity problem that we are faced with, Mr. President is not taking the creation of state police services lightly, and I hope that members of the Senate as well will work hand in hand with this committee to ensure that the needful are done on time for us to start feeling the impact of the creation of state police. And the state houses of assemblies are still there as well, because we're expected to get 24 out of 36 in the country, so that the bill can be passed into law at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
All right. Over here in Lagos, Lagos agency flags 238 outlets for consumer safety breaches. The Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency has intensified enforcement activities across the state, inspecting hundreds of retail outlets in a renewed effort to curb the sale of fake, expired, hazardous, and substandard products. The agency disclosed that its monitoring and enforcement department inspected 663 stores and supermarkets between January and June 2026, with 238 outlets found to have violated provisions of the Lagos State Consumer Protection Law. According to LASCOPA, the inspections covered supermarkets, grocery stores, pharmacies, markets, shopping malls, and other retail outlets across the state's 20 local government areas and 37 local council development areas. The general manager and chief executive officer of LASCOPA, Folabi Shulebo, said the operation formed part of the agency's mandate to protect consumers from unsafe products. He also appealed to consumers to remain vigilant by checking product labels, authenticity, and expiry dates before making purchase, and to report suspicious or unsafe products through the agency's official complaint channels. 238 outlets have been flagged for violating these consumer protection laws in Lagos. And of course, again, the appeal has been made. The government is doing all that it can, to protect consumer rights. But you, as a consumer, you also have your own role to play. Ensure that you do the needful before you make purchase or before you pay for this product or services.
I like what LASCOPA is doing, and 238 outlets isn't mean fit at all. And it means that it is, again, just to localize how you can complain, or how when your rights as a consumer is breached, you can actually seek redress and find an agency, a government agency, to actually help you out. And I think this should also send a signal to those who, deliberately will just stay somewhere and just want to be wicked. Because sometimes I see this as wickedness. I really don't get how a product would is expired, and one way or the other, you go and print your own expiry date, or you just do something funny. At the end of the day, is it that you're not even affected by the lives that you're also going to have negative impact on? Because again, sometimes I really cannot get into the minds of people who perpetrate evil.
They want to make money?
No, Joy, Abimbola.
It's blood money anyway.
You cannot really get into the minds of killers. Yes, they are killers. Because if a particular product has expired and you now went somewhere, fabricated your own date and put it on the product, display it on the shelf, what is your intention? You want to kill people?
Which money, Seth?
You must give it to this agency like Abimbola raised. There was a time I lodged a complaint, and before I know it, the following day they went there, and like 3 weeks after, they went there again to check if those products were actually still on the shelf or not. And the man started calling me, Sir, this, that. Because I'm used I'm used to the smell of that particular spray. Right. So I bought it there, and in my mind, I was like, this is fake. And I took it to the man. He started arguing. I just messaged La Scopa.
And that's even you.
I messaged La Scopa on Sunday, and by Monday morning, they were there.
Was on sale.
And that's you because you are familiar with the scent. Yeah. What about people who do not know? You just
and
buy.
Many of us don't even bother to check dates when we are buying things.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. So for if you go an extra mile to check, you can actually complain right there. So it's either they change it or they refund your money, except if you want trouble. Because if something is expired and it's still on display on your shelf, then that means that you're culpable. Except you can't even tell me that you do not know. How possible is that? So I do hope that this is, a signal, and many people will desist from putting the lives of others in jeopardy. Right, let's quickly go on to the X platform this morning and take a look at one of the many trending stories there. We started on that note, so we will go back there. Well, a lot of Africans yesterday actually rooted for Egypt, and, a lot of people wanted
Argentina out.
The Argentines to go, especially because of those people who like a particular Portugal player. They also wanted the Argentines to exit.
Why is Abimbola tilting towards me?
Did I say anything, Joy? I'm just gesticulating. I'm just, But again, the god of soccer yesterday, I don't know what happened. I really do not get it. And on the X platform this morning, a lot of people are saying that, well, it feels like the African teams cannot deal with any time after 80 minutes. That's a slap. Come on. Come on, that's a slap. But for me, I think it was sheer complacency. And we have a penchant for doing this. It's not just African nations generally. A lot of people, and I always say it, football is a very, as in damning, until the last whistle blows. You never can tell. Ball can pass anybody and can still go into the net. And so when that happened, and the Egyptians, up onto 70-something minute, were leading 2-0, and the first goal came. Hey! My mind cuts because I'm like, no. You see the Argentines, I don't know, they they are short people. And they have a way of just demystifying. And so when the second goal came with Messi, I said 2-2. Will this thing now go to penalty? And here's where a lot of people also had a problem, where, again, with football, referees sometimes, it's their call to make. And so when that seemingly looked like a foul, people said it was not a foul, and they were expecting that, it wasn't going to be a free kick, and then the third goal came. Even the Egyptian coach is saying the match was rigged in favor of Argentina. And then he says, well, you should not have allowed us to play if you knew that you were going to give it to Argentina. But for me, I saw tenacity. I saw people who didn't give up. I saw people who were, until the last whistle blew, they knew they still had something to do. And I think we should just learn from that. African teams, we give up. We celebrate when the match is not over. And that was what happened yesterday. So let's see how it goes at the end of the day. What's your take?
Yeah, my take on this particular matter is the fact that, African teams tend to be weak once the match has been extended beyond 90 minutes. That's on one side. And officiating-wise, this particular World Cup has not been transparent and fair enough.
Abi, is it because Infantino is from Argentina?
Maybe. Because officiating for that match yesterday for me was not fair.
Oh, my God.
Egyptians goal,
if
one of their goals...
Well, would it have been fair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Algerians complained about Messi, how he was favoured. And even yesterday,
and he was supposed
we
to get
saw
a yellow card.
It was Egypt, it was Africa against FIFA. Yes. And because of what happened yesterday, I am very certain that Argentina is not going to leave this World Cup. They would not.
See, Jibola, if they leave this World Cup, it would have been that they were beaten fair and square.
And they will be beaten soon.
It's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying that what I saw yesterday, Argentina played their heart out.
They played, I agree.
The Egyptians went to sleep.
But the officiating was not.
I don't think so.
Was not it
I
for
really
me.
do not think so.
Argentina, you will not win this World Cup.
What?
If it means I'll go on fasting and praying, I will.
Ajibala, it's
I'll
fine.
rather root for Morocco, France, Spain.
Okay, it's fine. I don't have a problem with you not supporting Argentina.
Abibola
It's
will be
okay.
here.
We will be here.
In a couple of days.
If Argentina is beaten on the at the round of 8, it's okay. But I'm just saying yesterday that, you know, there are things to learn from. Officiating wise, for me, I don't think there was anything wrong in that football match yesterday. It's a matter of, you know, what you see and where your heart is. A lot of Nigerians wanted Egypt to win. Because they're African, and they felt, okay, we could take a pound of flesh from Argentina. But football is football at the end of the day.
Anyway, I'm not a fan of Messi, so...
It's okay. I know that's where you're
No,
coming
not
to.
Messi.
Anyway, your fan...
Ronaldo any day, anytime.
Any day, anytime. You have gone, Sha.
Yeah.
Anyways, but also I'm sure that, you know, these two men, they've played, they've paid their dues in the football world, and
I'm sure this is
we
the
will not
last
see
World
them
Cup.
anymore. Most definitely, it's the end of the road for Lionel Messi, for Ronaldo, for Neymar, and, you know, we hope that we'll begin to see new footballers, especially in the next 4 years. All right, that's the Mocho take on what's trending today. You can go onto the X platform this morning to take a further read on why that match is still trending. We'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, part 1 of our conversation will be here this morning.